Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing on this Saturday, January 21st? It's your Uncle Steve here. Just wanted to pop in on a recent happening last night between uh, the Memphis Grizzlies versus Shannon Sharpe on the sidelines at the end of the second quarter. There seemed to be a little bit of back and forth between Shannon Sharpe, who is this super pro LeBron James guy, and the Lakers were playing the Grizzlies. And Shannon was kind of mouthing back and forth with the players. Now, again, sometimes I know being a pseudo celebrity, pro football Hall of Famer, and of course, host of Undisputed with Skip Bayless, where Shannon Sharpe might get a slight pass for being a quote unquote celebrity on the sidelines. But I think when you start getting into it with the players from that standpoint, where is the line drawn between celebrity and fan? Whereas a couple of weeks ago, Draymond Green got a fan ejected for kind of going back and forth with him. And then recently there was something, I want to say it was like early in the year, and this young lady and her friend were ejected. I guess there was some smack talk in between there, and the players kind of put up with it. I I just want to see where this line is drawn. There are so many that I see coming out publicly, like you go Uncle Shay Shay, and uh, you go tell them young boys, and you go do this. But I mean, is this really a point where we're celebrating that type of behavior? Now, if circumstances would have been different, if it was a certain type of fan, a certain persuasion of fan that might have called out one of the active players on the court, I think we would be in a different situation. But we're celebrating Shannon Sharpe going out there and acting the way he did. I just think this is 100% on Shannon. And quite honestly, I think he should apologize. That was a disruption. Even though it was halftime, that was a disruption. Security escorted him out, but then they brought him right back. And then to go at it with Morant's dad, and I don't know any background about it. So if there is something in the past between them or something was said, I have no idea. Whether maybe Shannon said something about his son, I don't know. But that seemed to be at the moment heated. Now, I'm not foolish. I saw later on where T. Morant and Shannon went over there, kind of shook and made up and stuff like that. But clearly the Grizzlies players after the game were in no mood to hear from him. Now, they did have, I guess ESPN must have gotten a small interview with Shannon Sharpe. So Shannon Sharpe did come back and say this, and I quote, "They didn't want none of this smoke, Dave. They do all that talking and jockeying, and it ain't about that jockeying. It started with that Dylan Brooks. I said he was too small to guard LeBron, and he said, F me. And I said, F you back. And then he started to come at me, and I said, you don't want these problems. And then Ja came out of nowhere talking, and he definitely didn't want these problems. Then the dad came at me, and he definitely didn't want no problems. But I wanted anything they had. Don't let these fools fool you now." And, you know, at some point you kind of say, Shannon, how thirsty are you? I mean, the last couple of weeks, I understand the DeMar Hamlin thing, maybe being a little upset at the Skip Bayless comments. But all the part earlier this year when Skip kind of called you out, when Skip was being pro Tom Brady and saying that your game wasn't on the same level and you got a little sensitive. Just like a couple of years ago when you out of the blue call Julio Jones, basically kind of getting that man in trouble a little bit. I'm not saying get him in trouble, but you kind of almost got the TV station in trouble by calling the man live and blindsided him. At one point, do we say, man, dude, are you that thirsty? I remember seeing a segment between him and Tony Gonzalez. All you have to do is look it up on YouTube. And Tony Gonzalez was brought on to talk about who was a better tight end, Travis Kelce or Ron Gronkowski. That was a few years ago. And Shannon made the segment about how much greater he was than Tony Gonzalez because he won a couple of Super Bowls and Tony Gonzalez didn't even make it to the Super Bowl. And I said to myself, at first I was ha-ha about it, but then now I started thinking about it. I said, man, is he starved for that attention? And maybe he is. And again, God bless you. I think at some point, I think all of us, may want a little bit more credit than we get in life for certain things. But just like last night, I think he wanted it about him. I think he wanted this whole thing to be about him, his ugly little sweater, and just showing people that, 15, 20 years after football, he still got it. And I think what he got was an embarrassing situation where, even though I know there are some folks out there, you go ahead, Shannon, and show them what you got. I think that was just a ignorant brother starting stuff when he didn't need to start it. Even if you call yourself talking junk and supporting LeBron, LeBron don't need your support. LeBron don't need you to take up for him. And LeBron came out and said he was with him all day. I get all of that too. That's LeBron being LeBron. But why does LeBron need you to stand up to him, to those guys? I think it was a big distraction. And I guess it worked too because the Lakers did come back and win the game. But I don't know. I want to hear what y'all think. Tell me what y'all think about this situation. Am I way out of bounds by saying Shannon Sharpe kind of made himself look like a fool last night? Or are some of you saying good for Shannon? Go ahead, Shannon. You show them how you are. You show these young boys that you ain't going to take no more. And that wasn't even an alpha male situation to me. I think that was an ignorant male situation, if you ask me. Y'all let me know how you feel. I'm just very interested to hear what most people think about this. This is your Uncle Steve here on a Saturday. Everybody have a blessed rest of the day and the weekend, and we'll talk to y'all soon.